Hi guys, it's Miss Young. We're starting a new math module today. Module 7 is called Problem Solving with Length, Money, and Data. So lesson 1 today, I'm going to walk you through what you'll kind of be seeing when you go to do your problem set. So today we're going to be starting to use tables to help us answer questions. So this is a table, and the title of this table is called Animal Classification. Classification is a fancy word for group. So we have birds, fish, mammals, and reptiles. So under birds, you'll see you have the number 9. So that means there are 9 birds, 4 fish, 17 mammals, and 8 reptiles. Now the question is, how many in this table are birds, fish, and reptiles? So they want to know of the numbers that we have there, how many are birds, fish, and reptiles? How would I go about doing that? Well, first I look at birds. I have 9. Then I look at fish. I have 4. What's 9 plus 4? 13, right. Then I need to add my reptiles. So I'm going to do 13 plus 8, and I will have 21. So there are 21 birds, fish, or reptiles. I'm not using the number for mammals because that's not what they're asking in my question here. Now if I scroll down to my next question, it says use the table to answer the following questions. They want to know how many more mammals are there than fish. Now this is where it can kind of get confusing when you're thinking about what does the word more mean. I'm going to look at the number for mammals, 17. And I'm going to look at the number for fish, is 4. How many more is 17 than 4? How could I figure that out? Well, if I do 17, take away 4, that's how many more mammals there are than fish. So, if we set up our problem, 17 minus 4, 7 minus 4 is 3. Bring down the 1, I have 13. How can I check my answer? I'll take the answer I got and add that number with the fish. And if 13 plus 4 equals 17, then I know I am correct. And since 13 plus 4 does equal 17, then I'm right. For our next problem here, it says how many animals were classified. Now this table is called Animal Classifications. So we have birds, fish, mammals, and reptiles. This is kind of a fancy way of asking how many are here altogether, since the table is called Animal Classification. It's all the numbers here. So what I can go ahead and do is add up all of the numbers. So you can either add 2 numbers at a time, look for numbers that could be friendly numbers with one another. We did 9 plus 4 before to start. We had 13. 13 plus 17, I know that 7 plus 3 is a 10, so that gives me 30. And then 30 plus the 8 gives me 38. So how many animals were classified? 38. Okay, for my last question here. It says, how many more animals would need to be added to the chart to have 45 classified animals? Now, in the last question we answered, we know that our answer was 38. So they want to know how many more animals. It doesn't matter which category they're going to go in. They just want to know how many more will get us to 45. So I have 38 plus blank equals 45. Another way to figure out how many would be 45 minus 38. You could also count up in your head if you knew that 38 to 40 is 2, and then from 40 to 45 is 5. You add the 5 and the 2, 5, 6, 7. So 7 more animals would get us to 45. What I want you to be thinking about today in this new unit is, we've done a little bit of this with Mrs. LeMay, right? You creating a graph, answering questions about a graph. So it's important that you're looking at the title of the graph. It's important that you're looking at the categories of the graph. and taking time to really think, what are they asking me and what information I already know? Because in this problem, you were able to solve it using the answer from this problem up here. So sometimes the previous problems help give you some information towards the problem that you're working on. A question I want you to think about while you're working today is, why is it important to carefully read and understand a graph before you start answering questions about it? So after you watch this video, you're going to go ahead and find the problem set for lesson 1. It's underneath the math heading. It'll look similar to this. You're going to go ahead and complete it. Now, sometimes you'll notice here it'll have a spot for you to click and type a number in, and then other times it'll say you'll need to have done your work on paper. It's because you can't show it on here if it's a drawing. So do your work on paper, and then you can write "did my work on paper" in the box. You'll see what I mean when you get to that page. When you finish the problems in the problem set, you need to make sure that you submit your lesson, and then you can go ahead and do the Zearn lesson for today. Only lesson 1. When you finish, you're going to go ahead and do extra math or go on Freckle if you have more time.